to Look North, I'm Adam Powell. Cumbria's Police, Fire and Crime Commissioner says Andy Burnham can deliver for the North by passing on powers to local leaders. David Allen says he believes the former Greater Manchester Mayor can make a difference to communities here if he becomes Prime Minister, but his political opponents say they're not convinced. Here's our political editor, Richard Moss.
Andy Burnham in Wearside in 2008. Then he was Culture Secretary, preening his northern credentials while visiting a pigeon coop. 18 years on, the man sometimes called the King of the North could soon be Prime Minister. Do his roots give any grounds for optimism? Labour's Cumbrian Police and Crime Commissioner says yes.
He spent the last best part of a decade dealing with local issues and successfully delivering for Manchester what I want to deliver in Cumbria, what I'd like to see across the entire north. He's involved and invested in localism. That is what will make the difference. Westminster, give us the means, give us the money, let us make the decisions.
One recently elected Newcastle Green councillor, though, is not convinced.
We're getting the King of the North and who's going to fight for North, and yes, or are we just getting Stormerism with a northern accent? Labour needs to take this seriously. They need to tackle the poverty and build the green energy. And we're just going to get the same, and he's not willing to fight the establishment. We're just going to get the same thing and not the change that we need.
And a Northumberland Conservative says his top priority should be getting young people back to work.
What he really needs to focus on, and I hope he does come out and say this, is how we deal with some of our needs, not in employment or training, and young people. 900,000 young people who don't have and appear not to have a future. That needs to be tackled.
Back in Parliament, he's seemingly set for Downing Street, but there's much yet unknown about what a Burnham premiership might mean for the North. Richard Moss, BBC Look North.
A 4-year-old boy and a woman in her 30s have been taken to hospital after a suspected hit and run in South Shields. Police were called after reports a motorbike collided with the pair near Ocean Beach Pleasure Park yesterday afternoon, then left the scene. Officers say the boy's injuries are not believed to be life-threatening and the woman's injuries are thought to be minor. Now, Durham's England captain Ben Stokes has announced his retirement from international cricket. Stokes, who grew up in Cumbria, will call time on his England career tomorrow at the end of the third test at Trent Bridge. Now 35, Stokes has played 122 tests, 44 as captain, and scoring more than 7,000 runs and taking more than 250 test wickets. Staying with cricket, and former Middlesbrough and Hartlepool footballers have swapped sports to take part in a charity cricket match in memory of a community champion. Roy Simpson was chairman and coach at Peterlee Cricket Club for decades. He died in 2024 and a foundation in his name has been set up. Stuart Wincote reports.
Switching sports to honour a man who dedicated his life to his local community. The two sides were made up of former Middlesbrough and Hartlepool footballers.
My dad would have loved something like this, My dad was so passionate about cricket, and particularly Peterlee Cricket Club. He loved it here. It was his, I was going to say his second home. He spent probably more time here than he did at home sometimes.
Roy was awarded an MBE for his services to cricket education and the community. He coached young players and was also the chairman, groundsman, scorer, umpire and bus driver at Peterlee.
He loved so much seeing other people enjoy the game that he loved that he would do anything to facilitate that.
This was a charity match for a good cause, but it was still competitive.
Last year was down to the wire, Luckily we had Craig Heaton too. I think he's a semi-pro cricketer as well, but he's on the other team today, so we'll have to try and get him out quick.
It only takes one game to mess up your reputation. This could be it. Everyone wants to win, no matter how old you are, how long you've been retired. As soon as you get into this, and it's competitive, it comes out in them all.
Roy's foundation helps young and aspiring cricketers play the game they love. Student Cup, BBC North.
Slightly cooler today, especially for cricketers. Let's find out what next week looks like. Here's Kaye Forster.
Good evening. It's feeling a lot fresher now. The intense heat has left us. It looks as though we're going to stay generally dry this week. Just a few showers, but we are going to stay on that cooler side. And it's a much fresher night to come tonight. Now, there could be just 1 or 2 showers around overnight, but we're generally dry. Going to keep some clearer skies for a time as well. But it is all about the temperatures tonight. Much fresher, much better for sleeping. We're down to 11 or 12 degrees. So then tomorrow, There'll be a bit of rain around first thing, but that will clear, and there will be some sunshine around until the afternoon when we see a bit more cloud pushing in as we go through the day. But temperatures tomorrow back up into the high teens or low 20s. As I say, there's a chance of a shower, particularly on Tuesday, but otherwise quite a bit of dry weather this week, and temperatures staying up into the low 20s.
A little bit cooler, that's good news. That's the way things are looking so far this Sunday evening. I'll be back with a full roundup just after 10:20 tonight.